Oh boy, what have I gotten myself into now? Now that I got a place with the garage, we are back on the trying to flip mowers side gig here, and I got three of them. Um, so I'll kind of talk about each one of these three. These two in the front here I just picked up today, actually. But this first one, I got this for free from my grandfather. This is actually the mower that I used to mow the grass over there when I was a kid. He bought it new, so this thing is like, I think the date code on it said 2000, so this thing's like 21, 22 years old, which kind of blows my mind because, I used this when I was a kid. I remember when he got it new, and I remember being so amazed at the self-propel on it because I had never seen that before. Even as a kid, I was really interested in mowers and tractors and things like that, and I didn't even know that that was a thing on lawn mowers, so I was super amazed by that. So this thing, it's seen better days, but largely it's okay. It still runs. I changed the oil, the air filter, and the spark plug on it. I think the self-propelled belt could use a change because it seems to not want to go forward if you're on a hill. It seems a little weak, but I'm sure that the belt on here is the original belt and it's probably all stretched out. I don't know where the discharge chute is for it. This thing had a mulch plug initially. That thing's long gone. I can't even remember the last time I saw that, but at some point, I can't remember if the discharge chute broke or if my grandpa just took it off, but either way, it's gone, nowhere to be found. So it kind of sucks because when you're standing behind it, it just kind of kicks up rocks and grass at you and stuff. So you have to be careful. But I mean, it works fine. As silly as it sounds, I do have some sentimental attachment to this just because it was the one I used when I was a kid. I don't know what I'm going to do with this yet. Sentimental factor wants me to keep it, but I don't know. It's seen better days. There's something going on, and I'm sure this is an easy fix or like a duh moment, but I tipped it over to clean out the underside of the deck. I tipped it like so. It's not really showing you what I did. I tipped it this way because, the carburetor's right here, so keep the carburetor in the air. And it started pouring oil everywhere. I don't know where it came from. Seems like it was from somewhere around the carb area, but I don't know where there would be a place for oil to leak from in that area. You can kind of see some residue of it around the primer and everything. So there's that. But it doesn't leak oil when it's running or anything like that. So I don't know what the deal is there. And it runs a little too fast. So I need to try and see if I can adjust the governor or something. Because, it's not like over revving, but you could tell that it's faster than it should be. So I want to see if I could get that speed down a little bit. And other than that, I mean, this mower is kind of like a what you see is what you get type of deal. It's not really worth putting a ton of money into because it's so old and, it's been so used and it's an MTD, but for sentimental reasons, it's kind of cool to have it. The other thing is you can see the drive wheels are either very hesitant to turn or sometimes they won't turn at all when you're just freewheeling it. I have no idea why that is. No clue at all. It's done that for several years now, and I guess it just hasn't been a big enough deal to get it fixed. So then we'll go on to this one here. I just bought this from an estate sale. It's a Brute MTD. It's got self-propel, front-wheel drive. It comes with a bag that is super gross. It's got a bunch of mud inside it, so that's definitely going to need to be washed. This one's definitely a flip. I have no interest in keeping this one. I'm going to clean it up the best that I can. I'm going to try to figure out what in the heck is going on with these wheels. Hopefully they just need to be tightened. It looks like those deck adjustments are pretty loose down there, so hopefully that's a simple fix. It does run. The person at the estate sale started it up for me. The self-propelled does work. So hopefully, you know, this is kind of a tune-up deal, clean some things up, try to figure out what's going on with the wheels. I might change the drive wheels out. They're pretty shot, pretty bald. You know, depending on what it's looking like I'm going to get for this, I might try to change those out. It's just, you know, it's kind of stancy. Maybe a stance boy will want this. So yeah, this one's just a flip. No desire to keep this one. This one, however, Honda HR214 SX, which means it's the self-propelled variant. I had one of these a number of years back. I think I have a couple videos of it actually that are really old. I found this for a really cheap price, and you know, I don't really know the story with it. I just know that in general these are really good mowers, and you know, there's a few different routes I could take with this. I do really like the HR214s. I would not mind keeping this. Especially since I had to get rid of the other one because I needed the money. That one was an SM, which means it had the electric start. This one does not, but you know, that's fine. The electric start on the other one didn't work anyway. The big reason that I bought this was because it has the mulch plug, which is hard to find. So if something ends up, you know, if I decide that it's not worth it to fix it, if it needs to be fixed, and get it into good shape, I think I'm going to part this one out, because for what I paid for this, that mulch plug alone, I could make my money back on it. You could tell that the previous owner took somewhat good care of this thing. I say somewhat because, you know, it's relatively clean. I mean, it's an aluminum deck, so you know they don't rust. It looks like some new wheels were put on the back here at some point, or you know, the outer rubber part was redone at least. It doesn't look like it's leaking oil anywhere or anything. You know, looks like kind of just normal grease and grime. But then, you know, there's things like this bag here, which the bag itself is in pretty good shape. It's in much better shape than the bag I had with the other 214 I had. But all the plastic is like completely shot where the bag is held onto the frame. So, I mean, I don't know if that's really fixable. I'm going to have to kind of mess around with that a little bit. And then the other thing that this has is it's got a hole in the deck right here, right by the wheel. I don't know if you can see, I'm sticking my finger through it right there. So, and you know, I know that it's like, well, that means that it's only good for a parts mower, but you know, I'm gonna try to get it running, fix it up, see how it runs and how it works. And if it seems like it's a good runner and a good machine, then I'll probably try and take some JB Weld or some Bondo or something and patch that up. And if it seems like it's not going to be worth it, I'll just part this machine out. I do have a spare transmission for one of these, so if everything works but the transmission is not working for some reason, I could always just take the transmission out and swap the other one in. But I'm pretty stoked to have another 214, especially for the price I got it for, and especially because it has that mulch plug. Honestly, I was thinking about not getting it until I saw that it had the mulch plug, and then I was like, okay, because if worse comes to worse and I need to part this out, I could make some money on it. So, in fact, let's see if this thing runs, because I know this machine runs. I know this machine runs. This one I don't know. So let's pause temporarily, get some stuff out here. Let's see if this runs. So the air filter has definitely seen better days. I mean, it's not disintegrating yet, but the pre-cleaner itself is pretty grimy. The oils looks pretty clean, actually. Surprisingly, it's not very dark. This does have gas in it. I can't remember. I believe these have a shutoff valve on the carb. It's nice and greasy there. I can't remember which way you're supposed to turn it. I want to say it's the way that it was. So I'm just going to spray some carb cleaner down the throat of the carb, and we'll see if it fires. Okay, well, it fires at least, so that's good. Maybe the carburetor just needs some adjusting or something. It didn't want to go into low idle, but that could be because I didn't even choke it. I just put it on high and away we went. But it fires, so there we go. Those are the 3 new mowers. Hopefully have an update on them soon.